Hey guys, welcome to another week of WoW Weekly with Myst. And this week, I've basically just been working on my rep out in the new, well, I guess it's weird to call them new areas because they're old areas, but new stuff in them. So we'll just say that reinvented Aldham and Vale. Not lucky enough to get any mounts, so I haven't gotten any of the mount drops yet. Got one pet. It was over on my Horde character, though, because I, crazy enough, I have two characters that have done everything out here. I like to keep an alliance character and a horde character kind of up to par so they can both raid, and the horde character is actually in a raiding guild, whereas the alliance character is the guild master of what used to be a raiding guild. So I keep the alliance character in the main guilds in the hopes of it being a raiding guild. It sucks because it means I have to pug raids out with my main because I can't move my character out of the guild to join a raiding guild without screwing up my intentions of our guild growing as a raiding guild. So that's why a lot of the time you see me pugging raids on that character. But the horde character is in a raiding guild. So I like to keep the two kind of up on par. So yeah, the one that's in the raiding guild is a healer. It's my holy paladin. But I've played all specs over there. I've been a tank, I've been DPS, I've been heals, all on that same character. So yeah. Anyway, a little ramble there. I haven't really been putting goals in lately, and it's mainly been because there was Christmas, and then there was, I was away. I was out of country for a couple of weeks, and then when I came back, I had some catching up to do with videos, and then the patch dropped, and I had a bunch of content I was doing there, so I just haven't really put goals in quite a while. But I'm ready to put them back in. So I think what I am gonna do is, the raid has started up, and the Season 4 Mythics has started up, so it's a great time to add goals back in. And I think where we're gonna start is the Mythics. At the time of recording this video, I've done a 3. I know, not too high, but it actually feels kind of high. Being in that 3 felt like I was in, I don't know, like a 9 or something. You feel the difficulty of it. And so I've done that, and so we're gonna make the goal a 4. I'm pretty sure I could do a 5 easily, but that's gonna be our goal for this week, is doing a mythic +4. I guess the second goal could be the heroic version of the raid. Yeah, I need to start doing that stuff. This is probably going to be a goal well over time because I'm not in a rush to do heroic, like to do the full raid of heroic, but it is something I do eventually need to do. Because the uncorrupted Void Wing, which I'm showing you in the video right now, has been confirmed, and it is the reason most people get into heroic. Will clear the full raid anyway. Once you defeat Enzoth, he'll drop a spawn of Vexiona, which is a quest that you'll learn. It starts up the Lost Flight quest, which you just bring it to the Chamber of Heart and you get your Void Wing. You hand it into Rathian. So yeah, and this is pretty much my biggest goal every expansion, because these are mounts that go away. So this mount is only obtainable in this expansion. Once Shadowlands drops, you can't even try for this mount. It's just like the one that we had for Legion, and then there was also the Draenor one, and there was one before that as well. Or was it the Draenor? But there's been 3 or 4 of these. Okay, so yeah, I have done one boss on heroic so far. I did some of normal mode, so I cleared some bosses on normal mode, and then tried my luck on heroic. Got heroic Wrathion down, and then the team kind of fell apart after that because we got to Mott, and Mott, if you don't have high enough DPS from everyone, you just get overwhelmed with the ads. And so pretty much the entire fight, we saw 2 of those ads up all the time because the DPS just wasn't up to par. And yeah, so that fell apart really quickly. So that's why I've only really done one boss. So to summarize, goals will be Mythic 4 and mod on heroic. Anyways, that was a bit of a long intro there. Let's get into the news section, because I do have quite a bit for you guys this week. Let's start with the weekly events, though. So for this week, we are going to have, Lunar Festival has been running. It's going to continue to run till February 7th. The weekly will be Time Walking, and it's actually the one I've been waiting for, so I'm hyped for this week. It's going to be WoD, and the reason I've been waiting for that one is because when WoD was released as a Time Walking thing, they released 2 mounts. I bought one of those 2 mounts the last time I was around. So now that it's finally back, I can buy the second one, which means I'm back to caught up, because I was fully caught up before they announced the WoD Time Walking. And then that kind of put me at needing to buy 2 more mounts, and yeah, so now I'll be back to caught up. Still not lucky enough to get the Infinite Time Reaver, though. It would be nice to get that. Personally, I don't know. I never grind past the quest, so maybe that's my problem. Maybe my problem is that when Time Walking is around, I need to be like doing only Time Walking for that entire week. Like grinding that shit out. But I try my luck while I'm doing the quest, and then when the quest is done, I'm done, I usually don't go back till the next Time Walking event, right? So that's probably my issue. So anyway, there's that. LFR First Wing will open up for Nyalotha. I did create a few videos, really short, like 3 to 4 minutes per video, demonstrating the first 3 bosses. So if you're not sure what's going on, you want to kind of know what you're going to be walking into, they are there. I will link them in the description below so that you can check them out to see how you should be fighting those bosses. There will also be Mythic. So, there's definitely going to be the Mythic races. I don't know if you guys watch that kind of stuff, but the Mythic races will be going on Twitch all week with Limit and Method, and I'm sure there's some other guilds. I root for Limit. Method, I never really rooted for Method, because the thing is, they were the only ones for so long that it wasn't even really a race, really. Like no one even would compete with them. And then when people started competing, I just drew an attachment to Limit more than anyone. I imagine it probably has to do with Limit is NA, and probably the more important one is Limit plays on Illidan, and I have a max character that once in a while gets played, but I do have a max character over on Illidan, so that is probably the bigger reason that I root for Limit, just because they are on one of my servers that I play on occasionally. Also, there's going to be the Current Tour Tavern Crawl, which is a one-day event that occurs on January 31st. And then the Dark Moon Fair will start on Sunday, which is February 2nd. And that will be a great one for the next week, because you will have a rep buff going on that, I'm sure we'll see a lot of people, hitting a good amount of rep that week. So I'm looking forward to that one. And yeah, so that's the events for the week. Okay, so on to news. One of the biggest things, and one of the things that I was so hyped for when they fixed, was the auction house issues. Those are fixed now. It was, I think, the middle of last week where I had logged in and I had mail, and I'm like, holy shit, I have mail. That's gotta be the auction house. And it was my money that was owed from the items sold. And yeah, so that means two things. One, yay, the auction house is fixed. And two, I will be continuing the WoW Gold challenges. However, I am still taking my break from this week, so you won't see it up there tomorrow, but you will see it on the following Tuesday for the WoW Gold challenges. And for those that don't know about that series, it's a series I started just before Christmas, and it is my gold challenge to earn 5 million gold to get the Brutosaur mount before Shadowlands releases, so that I have it and don't have to work the black market auction house, because I have no luck over there. I never get shit from the black market. Next up is the legendary cloak. I will also link the video I created for that one in the description below in case you haven't gotten that far yet. But yeah, so here is a chart of the catch-up system, and it's really kind of weird for us that play regularly. I feel like that's something you don't really have to work too much towards every week, because how it works is the first week you could get it up to 6, and then the second week it's seen 7 is your mark. And as you can see here, January 28th, it's saying we can get it to 8, and it just goes up 1 every week. And I feel like 1 every week is bad, I almost wonder if it's going to come to the point, because with the vessels, you can only have 5 on you. So I'm starting to wonder if you're hardcore doing visions, and you can only up it once per week, are you eventually going to run into the point where you have to spend it, because the vision currency is capped at 25,000, so you have to spend it. It costs 10,000 for a vessel, which is good because that knocks out a good amount. But what if you're caught up and you have 5 vessels? I had 3 on me for a while there, so I was really close to having the 5. I'm just wondering if that would become a thing. At this point, I guess at that point you just stop doing stuff that gives you that kind of stuff, but you're also rep grinding, so you're gonna want to do it anyway, right? But yeah, the point being of my whole little ramble here is that the visions currency that you collect is you can only use that currency for one thing, and that's the Vessel of Horrific Visions that caps at 5. Personally, I understand having the Horrific Visions cap at 5. You don't really need much more than 5 because your rank only can go up to a max of 15 anyway. But I do believe that they should up the cap on the Visions currency and add some items that we can buy with that. I hate when they make an item that takes one currency in particular, and then you're grinding that one currency for this one item. And all that's going to happen is you're going to have so much of this vision currency and nowhere to spend it, like many other currencies that are sitting in my currency tab. So yeah, because you can collect this shit so easy, and even easier now. In the first few days, daily quests were only issuing 50, and I was totally hyped when they upped that from 50 to 250. But now that I'm at the able to upgrade my cloak once a week deal, I feel like I shouldn't even be doing stuff that gives that vision currency because there's nothing else to spend it on. And at a certain point, since the currency is capped at 25,000, if I end up with 5 horrific vision vessels, then I've got a couple of choices. 1, I stop doing anything that gives me vision currency, or 2, I rip some vessels so that I can keep buying some, on purpose. Both options seem horrible. On the topic of cloaks, they have stopped putting cloaks into your weekly cache for your mythics. I couldn't believe that people were still getting cloaks this week. You would think that, once Blizzard implemented the legendary cloak on live servers, that they would have taken out the cloaks out of mythic pluses. But yeah, there were so many bugs for this patch, it was not even funny. There's actually 2 bugs in this video you're watching. Now, in either the last WoW Weekly or the one before that, I had made mention of the Rajani War Serpent that you see here, and that you needed to get a pristine serpent scale in order to get this mount, because that's the currency. And I also said when I found out how you do that, I'll let you know. And if you pay attention to my YouTube channel, you'll see that I let you know this past week, but I know not everyone watches, everything I post. You probably target certain things you're interested in. So I'm going to link it in the description. I did put a video together on it earlier last week, and it has been doing amazing, to be honest. It has been my best video since I did the B mount. The B mount was my last best video. And I'm actually really proud. I love knowing that I've done a video that is helping so many people out. That's why I'm a content creator, right? I like to put useful videos. So I'm glad everyone's enjoying that. And yeah, like I said, it'll be in the description if you haven't seen it yet. Now, another thing that is probably going to piss off quite a few people is the fact that you need, when I say quite a few people, I mean casual people, by the way, but you need to have your cloak, your legendary cloak, equipped when you're fighting Enzoth. Now, when I first read this, I was like, are you kidding? You should have that equipped anyway. It's a 670 unupgraded, and it's not that hard to upgrade it. It's just, time gated. But other than that, it's not hard to upgrade that cloak. You should be wearing it anyway because there's no better cloak in the game. And then, yeah, I guess it dawned on me that maybe you'd want to be going in with alts. At this point, I don't see it as really a piss off because, well, one, I have the cloak on, multiple characters. You shouldn't even be going in the raid without that cloak. If you don't have that cloak, your gear probably is crap, And this is, most people would care about this for the heroic version. So you definitely shouldn't be entering heroic without your legendary cloak. But why do we need the cloak? It is because you'll get mind controlled. And if you're mind controlled on heroic and Zoth, then you won't be able to tag the boss, which doesn't, give you the rewards. So you won't be able to loot anything. And how the whole ahead of the curve mount works is you'll get a quest off of that. So yeah, you want to loot it. Okay, next piece of news has to do with the raid. There is 4 lieutenants in the raid that drop 200 corrupted mementos each. I'll tell you who they are and how to get to them. So there is Grilthix, the Executioner. He's available after you kill the first boss, Rathian. You just clear the trash after him, and he's at the top of the stairs. And yeah, he'll give you the 200 corrupted. Then there's Jeshra. Jeshra is available after Mott and Skitra are killed. So, in other words, you need the first 3 bosses killed. And then you go up the first elevator in front when you first exit the building. Darish of the Nothingness. He is available once again after you have killed Mott and Skitra, and he is located in front of the Hive Mind building. And then there is a Sangwamar, and he's once again after Mott and Skitra, and he's in the Maw, and he's a patrol, so you just gotta find out where he is. So honestly, that's super fucking easy. If you think about it, you only need to kill the first 3 bosses to get 800 corrupted memento. The first 3 bosses and some trash. But yeah, 800 corrupted memento you could get in there. So, each week. So yeah. They are locked to a weekly thing. So you can't just go in and, redo trash or anything. Yeah, they are weekly. But I just thought I'd point that out because that is, I've done the first 3 bosses and they're not that bad. So, yeah. And it's on any difficulty. So you don't have to go in there and do 3 bosses on heroic. You can just go on normal. Do the first 3 bosses on normal and then loot your total 800 corrupted mementos. So I feel it's very much worth it. Okay, next up, there is this picture here. This is a weak aura that you can get in order to help with tracking your sanity. And as you can see, it tells you how much time you have left. Personally, this doesn't interest me. I find this picture here to be just clutter on my screen, and I don't use this tracker. Honestly, I don't find it hard to realize when you're running out. The bar's right there, naturally without an add-on. And then if you get real close, your whole fucking screen is like fucking going in on you, like, purple at the sides, and it's pretty obvious. But people seem to really need a tracker. So I just thought I'd add it into this video. I'll throw the link to the weak aura down below. So you are going to need to have weak auras as an add-on, and then you just import the link that I'll have in the description into your weak aura. Next up, I have a few videos that I thought you guys might be interested in. They are spoilers, so I am gonna mark the video for the next 5 minutes with the spoiler tag. And also, what I'm gonna do is in the comment section above the timestamps, just so it's easier to find, I will type in spoilers and at, and then I'll put a timestamp. So if you want to, find out where they actually end so that you don't have to actually skim through the video during the spoiler part, just go to the description of the video and click that timestamp, and you'll get to the rest of the video without watching them. The spoilers have to do with the raid, so if you don't want to know what happens when you complete the full 12 boss Nyalotha raid, then you don't want to watch this. This is all stuff that happens at the end of the raid.
Since being wounded by the Mad Titan, Azeroth has been crying out in pain. In her hour of need, she lent you her power. Today, at long last, she's free from the grasp of the old gods. Her song rings clear and strong throughout this chamber. Hold her heart with pride. Know that you are more than a champion of your people. You are a champion of Azeroth!
The world is mine!
Warning! Corruption levels approaching 100%.
No! You got to keep fighting, champion!
Through your flesh, my Black Empire is reborn!
Don't listen to his lies! You don't belong to him! You're a child of Azeroth! Her strength is your strength!
Attention! New anchor point acquired.
Well then, what are you waiting for?
Acknowledged. Firing sequence initiated.
Hold on, champion!
Now, my personal thoughts on the cinematics is they weren't horrible, but they weren't awesome either. Like, I didn't see anything too terrible with them, but I did find that they were just really short. And I guess for an end, like, last raid cinematic, I expected more, but that doesn't determine whether I like a raid or not. So I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, the game sucks because there's, a bad cinematic. Look at all the cinematics I've done over the years. Like, yeah, I think they can have a bad one here and there. Like, they've kept me in this game for 15 years, so they're obviously doing something right. Whether it's with cinematics or gameplay or something. I might bitch about the odd thing here and there that I don't like. The biggest one, I guess, would be them making the game more casual every fucking expansion. And, I'm still here. I still play it. I still love the game and love the content, so... The third cinematic, which is the last one that you saw, that one got a lot of hatred. I don't think the first two people really thought were horrible or anything, but that last one that you saw, there was a lot of hatred on the WoW YouTube page towards that one. And so much so that they removed it, and over on Wowhead, there's still quite a few dislikes over there. It's like 1K likes versus 5K dislikes. I don't know what the ratio was on the Blizzard one. By the time I went to watch it, it was already removed. So they must have acted really fast on that, because at first I was like, do I want to watch it? Because I haven't killed Enzoth on Heroic. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't know when I'll get there. I don't want to sit here wondering, what happens after for that long. I'll still have hype. I'll still be like, yeah, we did it. I don't need to hold off a cinematic to have that hype on that kill. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll watch it. Whatever. I don't care. When it comes to WoW, I'm okay being spoiled. All of us have spoilers. Even if you're the type of person that avoids the spoilers, you get spoilers. Unless you avoid all YouTube channels, and especially Wowhead. Wowhead is like... They might as well just call it Wowhead spoiler website, because every article there is technically a spoiler. The articles on how to get secret pets. Is that not a spoiler? It's a secret for a reason, right? If, technically, if you come to my channel to watch a video on how to obtain a mount, is that not a spoiler? Because you didn't figure it out yourself? To me, it's all spoils. But I get why some people would not want to see the end raid spoiler. Personally, I wasn't expecting awesome from it anyway, because, to be honest, I've been disappointed all fucking expansion. This is the first expansion ever in 15 years, including WoD, that I really have been kind of blah on. I've been literally doing things to do things, it's because I like to stay active, right, in WoW. So literally I'm doing mythics because I must have one of the top item levels. I'm doing raids because I must clear content. I'm doing pet battles because I need pets to do other things that warrant me an achievement. If there weren't achievements attached to pet battles, you would never see me in a pet battle, because I think pet battles are absolutely horrible. I think they are boring as fuck, but I'm an achievement person, and they have achievements attached to them. The thing is, I never had a single bad thing to say regarding WoW at all through my 15 years until BFA. And it was because through the past expansions, I'm not going to say they were perfect, but through the past expansions, there's been very little, negativity for me. Very little things that I thought shouldn't exist. And a lot of them had to do with my class, my druid class. Like an expansion would start, all of a sudden I'd be missing some of my favorite abilities. And then the next expansion started and I'd get them back. And then the next one started and I'm missing more of my, favorite abilities. A lot of it had to do with class changes. I felt like every patch there was something bad. This corruption, I think it's the worst thing they could have put in the game. This corruption's boring as fuck. The legendary cloak, gotta wait forever to upgrade it because it's, 1 level per week, which is hilarious because it takes you 2 minutes to do a fucking vision. And yeah, there's just so much wrong with this expansion that it really came as a shock to me because I've always been pretty easygoing with the WoW stuff, and I've always been able to overlook a bad thing because there's 90% good things in my mind, or in my opinion. But yeah, moral of the story is, what'd you guys expect? Did you expect that this shitty-ass expansion that we've had for the past couple of years, well, almost past couple of years, would just all of a sudden do something phenomenal at the end of the fucking expansion? I don't think so. If it's a bad expansion, it's going to be bad the whole way. They're not going to be like, oh, let's be awesome right at the end. No, even the AOTC mount is crap. I'm only going after that mount to add to my collection. But honestly, I think that uncorrupted fucking mount looks like shit. The only good part of that mount is it's purple, but other than that, it just looks like another mount that I own. I think they could have done so much better on that. Like, the last expansion, which was Legion, had their mount. That mount was beautiful. It was beautiful, it was unique, it had different colors than the one prior to it. All they really needed to do with this one was just get a new design. A design of a mount that we don't have. The last mount of an expansion should be the most unique mount you've seen all expansion. So the next piece of news is not WoW related, it's Warforged 3 Reforged related, and that is that game is finally gonna release. It releases tomorrow, January 28th, and it's been a long time coming. I have owned that game for over a year. I bought it November of 2018. How I know that is because it was BlizzCon and I didn't go, right? So I know it was 2018 because I went in 2019. I have owned that game for a while. Okay, so for WoW Classic, they have announced some AV changes coming up. So they say that it will now allow parties up to 5 players to queue together. When a party queues, they will be placed into the same battleground. There will also be no longer be a number in the name of the battleground in the join battle screen. And they also say they're fixing a setting that allowed the battleground to start with as few as 20 players on a team. And as far as Classic WoW goes, that is really all I have for you guys for this week. Not too much is going down in Classic, but soon there will be some added content, and I will let you know when that happens. I think I mentioned it last week or the week before, but it's still a bit away, so I will let you know when that content drops. As far as my character, my druid, as many of you know that watch the WoW Weekly videos, because that's the only way you would know, I'm been playing it kind of casual with Classic WoW. I like the game, but I like retail better. You know, I prefer new content versus old content. But I do still occasionally hop in and do some leveling and all that. So the druid is, you know that saying, slow and steady wins the race? Well, that's us right now. That is definitely us. Because I am, I feel like I'm doing good. I'm level 42, I think, now. And I feel like I'm doing good considering I don't log in every day. I think some of you guys are crazy for like already having, 3 or 4 level 60s, and yeah, but I get it. Those people don't play retail, so, I totally get it. It's been quite the juggle to juggle retail and Classic WoW together, and that's why I'm level 42. If I wasn't playing retail, I'd be level 60, and I'd probably be alongside with some of you guys that have alts that, I don't know if they'd be 60. I don't know if I could stay that committed. It's like vanilla. I loved vanilla, but, that was a different time. I was a lot younger. I think the biggest difference is, like, to be perfectly honest, I'd never played an MMO before WoW. And that's honestly a bad thing for a lot of other games, because now I always compare everything MMO-wise to WoW. It was really kind of shocking that I even got into vanilla, back in 2004, because back then I was playing Call of Duty and racing games, basically. And, I had my PlayStation, so I was playing Final Fantasy, and, my GameCube, so I was playing Animal Crossing, which I can't wait for it to release on the Switch soon. But yeah, so, this is the only MMO I've ever really enjoyed. But back then, I was able to dedicate more time to vanilla WoW. I was younger, my life commitments were less, and I was just able to put in, more hours than I care to share. Really what I think the difference between my playing vanilla WoW and my playing Classic WoW really is the obvious factor here. The fact that back in 2004, there was only one version of WoW. I have too tough of a time juggling the two. It's pretty much what it is. So that calls it for this week's WoW Weekly, guys. I know it was a bit of a longer one. Usually we try to keep it at the 30-minute mark, but I had a lot of news to tell you. I know I've had quite a few newcomers to the channel for this week. So if you are new to the channel and you're watching this video and you've watched all the way through, this right here is a series I do every single Monday. I let you guys know what the new weekly events are going to be that start on the day after, which is the Tuesday reset. And I let you know any news I've come across through that week. I've divided it between retail and classic, so if you play both, news does happen on both sides. let you know release dates of, things that have to do with WoW, or even Blizzard games. Like if Diablo has something, I'll sneak that in, but for the most part, it's just WoW Retail and WoW Classic. A little info on me. I've been playing since 2004. I'm one of the biggest WoW fans out there. My friends tend to joke around by saying that Blizzard would literally have to shut down all the servers in order for me to quit the game. And it's probably true. It's probably true. The druid, you usually see me in most of my videos. I've had that druid since vanilla launch, and that druid has remained on the vanilla server as well. And this has been my game for the past 15 years. I have never quit playing it. I haven't taken breaks. Been pretty active and competitive every expansion. I also stream on Twitch every Wednesday. It used to be daily, but my channel started doing better on YouTube than my streams were. So I swapped it from daily to once a week, and I focus mainly YouTube now. So yeah, that's a little bit of info on me, and that concludes this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.